Well, last summer on BlueShirtsUnited.com, perhaps the most popular feature the entire summer starred these two guys, Derek Stepan, Ryan McDonough. We called it the Step McD Show. Guys, we were hanging out with you guys in Minnesota. You're answering fans' questions and all that. Well, you're back for round two this summer, except this time we're going to focus on what makes you guys either A, really good road roommates, or is it not working out so good and you might have to find somebody new next year, okay? So you guys good to go?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So we know Derek, you were the big star. He came up here, hat trick, first game and all that. This guy's got to plow his way through, halfway through a minor league season before he comes up. Tell us a story. We know you have the University of Wisconsin background as well. Did you guys request each other? How did you guys first become road roommates?
Not really sure, to be completely honest. I think some of the guys gave us a hard time about both being from Wisconsin, and I think the team kind of just expanded on that, and then the organization thought it'd be really, funny to put us together as roommates, and I think that's kind of how it started. I'm not really 100% sure on it because I know our first season we weren't even roommates.
Yeah, I think it slowly it naturally occurred. They saw the chemistry between us two at the practice rink and during games. Kind of a team together, against other guys in the room, and it just made sense. We started this year full time. I think last year we had glimpses of it, but it became a full time thing this year, and we're not looking back.
Yeah, no way.
Now, just clear this up for me first, Mac, before we get into all the questions. You didn't do the good guy thing here. Nobody wanted to room with Step. That's the rumor that floats around the room. And you said, you know what, I'm the good guy. I know him from college. I'll take the weight off everybody else and I'll give them a break. That's the story that's floating around.
Well, it was kind of the card I had to play in order to get with him. I think it was Stalsey was with him before, and he was assistant captain and all, and I kind of had to slip around the tracks to get a hold of Steps. He was actually pretty popular roommate. You had Sauer and then Stalsey, so I had to kind of bypass my way around those two and figure out a way to grab a hold of them.
There's a lot of black market stuff that goes on in the roommate selection. A lot of under the table negotiations that happen, and I think. At the end of the day, I think I was probably the highest marked roommate at the deadline, if we want to call it, training camp area, and Mac kind of got the lottery and got the first overall pick, and the rest is history.
All right, well, let's find out about compatibility. You grab the room keys downstairs, you head up to your room. Is there a specific, obviously there are a couple beds in the room. Is there a specific, is there one guy that's got to be by the window, one guy that's got to be closer to the bathroom or whatever? Start with you, Step.
Yeah, we do unfortunately have certain beds. Mac's closer to the window, I'm closer to the bathroom. Just every time we get it, however the room's set up, it seems that I'm always the bed in the corner. Mac always gets the AC right on top of him. He always wakes up with a stuffy nose, but it's good for him. He plays 28 minutes a night, so he needs to get some cool air on him. It's like a constant cold bath for him.
All right, so Mac's got the window. He's got the better view there, until the curtains are drawn and all that. You got the air conditioning. So what does Step get out of the deal? If technically you might have the better bed there, what does he get that he demands when you go up to the room?
I don't know if it's fate, but it always seems that the remote control is always near him, and the phone for the room is next to him, and so he's kind of in charge of answering all the phone calls, finding something good on TV, changing the thermostat to make our room cooler, and I kind of just lounge around. I got my half. I usually don't put my clothes in the closet, so I say stay out of my closet, my half of the room, and we just go about our business that way. Step, he sometimes complains, but he knows in the end that that's his responsibility of the room, and he gets the job done.
The bottom line is the remote's in my hand, the phone's in my side, so whatever I want, I kind of get. So if I want to watch ESPN, I watch ESPN. Where Mac doesn't really get much say in that. If I want to get some room service, well, I'll get room service because the phone's right next to me. So Mac kind of. Like you said, he kind of goes through the flow, and he's not picky, so that's why I chose him. He's kind of a roommate too. He's easygoing. I kind of bully him a little bit. He's a little smaller than me, but other than that, I think it's pretty simple.
Well, if we have a few hours to kill, if we get in early to a hotel, we usually search through the movies and the TV, and he clicks one, And you know, you could tell right away whether or not I like the movie, because I'm usually, you know, either asleep in the first 15 minutes or I stay awake watching, and I end up, you know, asking him how it ended. But
usually sleep in the first 15 minutes, and if he likes it, he's sleeping in the 35.
So wait, so that leads right into compatibility as well. Guys, you know, watch similar things on TV, similar movies and all that. Let's start with Mac. If a movie's put on, are we going comedy more often? We're going a little action? What do you guys agree or disagree on? First with movies and then with TV?
I think comedy's a hit for both of us by far. I mean, you know, we like to be the first ones to see the movie, and if you walk around the locker room, you know, it's usually us two and Big Brian Boyle are ripping off movie lines pretty much all practice. So we like the comedies, and you know, we're usually pretty happy if we're laughing at the movie.
And what about TV, Step?
Well, we just try to find anything that doesn't have commercials. We pretty much hate commercials. No, I think a lot of it has to, you know, for the most part, we watch movies, or if we get in earlier, then we'll probably take a snooze. But for the most part, it's movies, dinner, and sleep.
All right. So before I get into dinner, this just struck me as you were talking about, you know, this guy passing out in the middle of movies and everything. The night that you guys play triple OT in Washington, by the time you get back to the hotel and everything, I'm sure you're exhausted. You're dead tired. But you're also wired from just, you know, an amazing game and everything. How long did it take this guy, Ryan McDonough, to fall asleep? And then when or if did he wake up the next day?
He was fine all night. And then in the morning, it kind of hit him a little bit. He woke up, and I was like, I had to get a spatula to get him off the bed. He was a little crispy. So other than that, it was he was fine all night long, and then he woke up, and you could tell he was a little beat up. But luckily, we had the day off, and we were talking about it. If we had to play that next night, I don't think we would have been able to lift our legs. But you know, he high marks to him, because he played a ton that night, and I don't know many guys that could do that. But he was actually pretty good at night, and then in the morning, I think the bed kind of swallowed him up a little bit.
One of the key things I would think is deciding where you guys are going to eat, right? So steakhouses, Italian, do you guys mix it up, or is there like a go-to pretty much in every city? Step, what do you got?
You know what, I think me and Mac, we're pretty open to anything. Wherever kind of, if there's a group of guys going, we might do that. Depending on, you know, what has gone on in the last week, you know, me and Mac completely comfortable with ordering room service and just relaxing, watching a movie. At least the food keeps Mac up for 45 minutes instead of 35. So, but no, we kind of play it by ear. You know, a lot of times we try to go with a group of guys as much as you can, just because, you know, that's the best part about road trips, is going to dinner with a group of guys and being able to relax and kind of, you know, hang out with them.
All right. Well, let's see how well you guys really know each other here. What is Derek Stepan's favorite road city? And why? And discount Minnesota. I know you Minnesota boys. It's all about the Minnesota. So take Minnesota out of the equation. Derek Stepan's favorite road city.
Boy, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we had you know, we had some good dinners as a team. I know, in Montreal, in Toronto. We had a couple extra days there.
One downfall in Montreal: we don't have roommates in Montreal.
Yeah,
we got our own bed. So
that's why we all meet up for dinner.
Yeah.
And we usually, you know, we usually have a good time at the meal there.
So okay, so maybe Stepan, you think Derek's favorite road city is Montreal. What's your favorite road city? Does the Mack truck know you? I
mean, I certainly enjoy Montreal, that's for sure. Because like you said, we get to go to dinner and hang out with you know, because we all have our own room, so everyone wants to go hang out. Minnesota is obviously the best road trip. I got no problem with that. I don't know. I mean, there's not many bad cities in the NHL, which is a good thing. You don't have many bad road trips. So I don't know if I have a favorite quite yet. I think it's still young. I might find one here in the next couple of years, but I'm not quite sure yet.
All right. Well, what do you think Mac's favorite city is?
Oh.
This wasn't meant to be such a tough question.
It's tough, though, because there are a lot of good cities. Mac got traded from Montreal, so he might like going up there. But I'm going to kind of go on a limb. I got a strong feeling Mac's a big Florida guy. I'm going to say that the Florida Panther trip is one of his favorites. He's got an uncle that lives down there. It's a good spot for him, warm weather. Mac's a sun guy, too.
All right, Mac.
He's right. I was thinking that in the back of my head. I mean, our hotel, you know, it's right on the beach, you know, and it's wintertime in New York. It can get pretty cold and dreary, and it's nice to get away and get on the beach. And like you said, I got family down there, and you know, it's a good way to relax your mind the night before a game and get prepared. I think you're dead on there.
Well, fortunately, hopefully neither one of you guys have pulled an Aaron Voros before your guys' time here. We're in Tampa. Aaron Voros decided we're in Tampa, go out, complete day off, no practice, anything. He's going to go boating with Lundqvist and all that. He's making fun of Hank because Hank's lathering up, putting on all the sunscreen. Yeah. Aaron doesn't put on a drop. Comes out the next day, can't move, got to put on all that equipment and everything. Yeah. So clearly you guys more the brains in the operation here. You're smart with the sunscreen and all that. If you cross the beach there in Florida and hop to the beach.
Well, we're smart. I mean, we know where we came from, Minnesota. You know, we come in in the winter. We're pretty white, white-skinned guys. So we know our limit as far as staying in the sun, and we're pretty careful about it.
I gotta change a battery every once in a while because my skin on the neon light sometimes runs out, you know, during the winter. So every once in a while I gotta change a battery. But other than that, putting on a lot of sunscreen all the time. Do a pretty good job about that because I've seen Mac get fried up a couple of times.
Can't be a pretty sight. So, you know, we mentioned Biron's Journal before. You know, how much you keep up with the Biron's Journal and little Jacob and, you know, his stand-in performances for Dad, and how many times did you watch yourself from the Winter Classic being interviewed by Jacob Biron? Tell the truth. You put it on more than once.
No, I actually watched it once, but if you ask my family and my girlfriend, they watch that thing all the time. They love that thing, and you know, I had a good time with that. I think Jacob's he doesn't fall too far from the tree with Marty there, but no, they got a pretty good thing, and I think Marty enjoys it. He gets to you know, get the mic in his hand and kind of get going a little bit, and you know, me and Mac both are very excited that he's coming back, and you know, we couldn't be happier for him.
Well, boys, looks like you're pretty compatible road roommates here and everything, so might stick with it another year. Thanks for hanging out with us, little Step McD today. And wait, what's that sound? What do you hear, Step? Is that Mac's stomach?
Yeah, he's hungry.
That's Mac's stomach, isn't it? He's pretty hungry right now. Mac, thank you for hanging in there with us because I know you're just dying right now.
The Mac truck needs to refuel up here.
Boys, have a great summer.
Appreciate it.